Hello, this is Traveler's Experience. Quick one. We're going to talk about Ethiopia and Somalia. The president of Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, had a media press conference in his office 2 days ago. He was trying to brief the press and the media about the position of Somalia and Ethiopia. They are having beef. What is happening? According to Sheikh Mohamud, he said that a land was leased to Ethiopia 20 years ago, just there about 1991, according to him. So he was trying to brief the press on what is going on in the region. He said currently, right now, that Ethiopia wants to build a naval base in that portion of the land they leased from Somalia 20 years ago, which is not correct. Which is not allowed. It is the land. The land belongs to Somalia, and it is not. They have not sold it to Ethiopia, which means they are saying no to the naval base construction going on at the moment. So this is what is going on in that eastern part of Africa. All of them are under African Union, or rather, normally they were calling it OAU. So this is what is happening right there in eastern part of Africa. Ethiopia and Somalia, they had agreed on memorandum of understanding for the lease over 20 years. But according to Sheikh, he said that Ethiopia is going against the agreement, which is not going to stand and watch. This brings me to what I want to say. We have two organizations in Africa. We have ECOWAS and AU, African Union. I have said it before that ECOWAS officials, their chairman, whoever is chairing them is very ineffective, is not a serious human being. AU, the same thing. All the officials of both organizations are very ineffective, corrupt, and I'm not abusing them. I'm using an adjective to qualify their situation because I see that they are very ineffective. Because why I said that, Biafra had a civil war. There was a civil war that went 67 to 1970 in between Nigeria and Biafra. Still to date, Biafrans are suffering. Biafrans are still fighting war. Biafrans are still struggling to find their feet in that Nigeria they wanted to break away from. If a tribe is not allowed, it's not accepted among other tribes, they should go their way. If a marriage does not work, there should be a divorce. That is the only way I see it. If after many years, Biafrans and Nigerians can't still stay as one, and the most reason why Nigeria is not even moving forward today is because Biafrans are not in love with that country. They don't want to remain in Nigeria. They don't need Nigeria. That is what it means. And whichever way you follow it, the country will never move forward without Biafrans. If Biafrans don't want to belong to Nigeria, they should go their separate ways. That's the way I see it. That is my own suggestion. Now, OAU is not doing anything based on what is going on in eastern part of Africa. Ethiopia and Somalia have been having problem, and African Union kept mute like ECOWAS did in Nigeria. This is what is happening. This is the time the war should be stopped. If the war proceeds and tanks are brought in, ammunitions are brought in, the war will go on. This is the time to stop it. According to what is going on also in Russia and Ukraine, if the war had stopped, by now Europe wouldn't be suffering what they are suffering. But they allowed it to continue. This is why I'm suggesting that AU, the chairperson of AU, even with ECOWAS, should move immediately to settle the beef between Ethiopia and Somalia. If the land does not belong to Ethiopia and Somalia don't want to sell their land, Ethiopia should move away. You cannot build a naval base in someone's land. It is not allowed. Lease is lease. If they don't allow you, you leave the land for them. It mustn't be something that will bring in war, because when the fight or the war will start, when it commences, everybody will be affected. Even you in West Africa thinking that it's very far. It's very close. The one in Russia is affecting you. The ones in Yemen or wherever they are fighting, all over the world, is affecting you. So don't think that the one happening in your backyard will not affect you. That is why African Union, if they have what it takes to settle issues, they should move in. The same thing I am saying between Nigeria and Biafra, because there is no peace in Nigeria. This is the time to stop it. If you don't stop it now that it has not started, not when it starts that they are going to stop it. AU chairman, ECOWAS chairman, their principal officers, they should move in. This is my suggestion. It's a warning as well. As a suggestion, the same time a warning. This will affect everyone. Move in now. If it's a formidable organization that want peace in that region, in that continent, this is the only chance you have. Go and find out what is happening between Ethiopia and Somalia and settle it. The earlier the better for this. And I believe it is, my people used to say that look for a black goat when it is not dark, because when it is dark, you cannot find the black goat. So this is the time for Ethiopia and Somalia to be settled. If you don't settle it now and you allow it to proceed, it's going to be a serious issue in Africa. So let us stop that war by starting by AU and ECOWAS. They are the organizations that oversees the whole of Africa. They should move in. Don't wait to be invited. Move in uninvited and find out what is happening, what is going on, and proffer a solution on how to curb, or rather stop and settle this issue. This is all we do in Travelers Experience. We don't want war. We don't want problems. We want peace in our society. Also with our youth, we want peace, because this war cannot go on without the youth. That is why I'm saying this. This is Travelers Experience. Always follow and join us in our discussion every time. Thank you. If you have not followed, follow us. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. We keep bringing you updates on this Ethiopia and Somalia issue. Be good, people, and remain very, very active. Be watchful and be smart. Thank you so much.